Ford dominated the front row of the feature race with Rydell and Menu, but Menu couldn't get the jump off the line on Rydell as he'd done earlier in the sprint. Now the Swede may have led into the first corner, but it was Vauxhall that were there keeping us all guessing as Plato signalled Muller past.
Well, I've never seen anything in my life quite like that. Jason Plato just seemed to pull over to the left, wave through Ivan Muller, his teammate, to take a place, and what is going on in the Vauxhall team?
Well, there's nothing wrong with Plato's car, it would appear. He's still going very hard. It doesn't look as though he's got a problem. Still ahead of Rademacher. Let's watch him down the back straight. That's Tom Christensen in the red and white Honda, followed by Matt Neal in the red Nissan. Red definitely the colour for touring cars in the year 2000, and then behind them, Muller and Plato. Plato's still very much in touch.
Starting in the back row of the grid, a big handicap, but certainly being helped by his teammate.
Well, here are a couple of teammates not really helping each other too much. That's James Kay and Mark Lemmer, the two teammates in the pair of Class B Hondas, and we saw the gap between them and Alan Morrison in the leading Class B Peugeot. He's really opening it up already.
Yeah, the Peugeot currently is the quickest of the Class B cars. Morrison trying to make it a double this weekend, having had a little over the top on the roof 2 weekends previous.
The car looks pretty straight now, and it's powering up through Coppice Corner. Now here's Matt Neal, and he has not let go of that Honda. Christensen, Matt Neal. Neal is getting closer by the minute up through Coppice Corner. He needs to get the power down early here and have a run.
But watch Ivan Muller. The Frenchman closes up to the back of the Nissan, and then it's onto the first of the Hondas.
This is as close as you like. Down into braking zone now. Left, right. Christensen wheel perfect. Matt Neal is too. Muller is very agricultural. And Muller is so agricultural, he's in the pits, he's taking an early stop, belch of smoke.
That sounded like a turbo diesel the way it came into the pits. But that's the way they run these engines these days, they dump so much fuel in. But watch this pit stop, remember, no tire warmers. Fronts on, watch the clock, 5.12 seconds, absolutely stunning from Vauxhall.
And Muller works his way down the pit lane, cold front tyres and hot rear tyres. Stands on the power now, look at it, squirming all over the place, trying to steer. It's like trying to control a recalcitrant camel. He just can't make it go where he wants to. Going to be half a lap before there's heat through those tyres.
And the car pulling left to right, the tricky diffs that they run on these cars make it tricky for the driver too.
Are you ready to go now, Ernest? Do you want to come in now? No, not yet. Matt, you have to come in now. We're out in the pit lane for you.
Well, that's the word. Matt Neal, he'll be off Christensen's tail in just a second because it's time for him to pit. Down into the chicane. He won't be trying to push too hard because he's not trying to get past. Christensen puts on the power. Matt Neal, hey, what's going on? He's supposed to pit.
Well, he didn't hear the signal. If you look at Jason Plato, he dives into the pits, but Matt Neal went past. Either he was concentrating too deeply, or he's got a problem with their onboard radio.
What can they do for Plato?
5.12 seconds the time. We saw 4 point, absolutely stunning. I mean, the Vauxhall boys were good in the first stop, but Plato 4.12 is magic.
Now that should make the difference, Waddy, because Plato was right behind Muller. When Muller pitted first, where is Muller? Here's Plato out of the pits. There's Muller, and that's the difference. That's the difference a second makes. That's the gap. Muller's behind again.
Well, we saw Plato appear to pull over, let Muller go through once. Surely he's not going to do it twice.
Matt, I told you to come in. We're out in the pit lane. We are out in the pit lane waiting for you. Okay.
Well, that's a problem because not only is he in trouble for being late into the pits, that's his dad giving him what for on the radio.
Well, it's a question of come in number 9, your time is up, and literally that time is up. You're only allowed to be on the pit lane for 1 minute, and I think Matt Neal's extended to... And look!
I think we've seen this before, Watty. Once again with feeling, just in case you thought it was an accident, Muller slides through. Matt Neal locks up a brake coming into the pits. There's the pit guys now waiting for it. Where the hell have you been?
So let's look at the Nissan team. They're doing left side only as opposed to the front from everybody else. Time 6.32, not the best we've seen this afternoon, but remember, he will also have to make a drive-through.
Lemmer Class B, Tarquini Class A, just slipping past him up into McLean's corner. This is a critical part of the race now because we've got our race leaders and they are lapping the leaders in Class B. Up over Coppice Corner now. That's James Kay just to the left of us in the Class B Honda Accord. Very good manners, making room for everybody. We are on board with Gabriele Tarquini. Kay moves so far to the left, he actually kicks up some dust. So that's Rydell right in front of us, Menu right behind him, Reed right behind him, and then Tarquini, which is a Honda yet to pit. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 in race order. And that was Anthony Reid running very wide. That's why he's pitting.
And Reid dived in at the last possible moment as quickly as he could. But all these cars now making the pit stops, the Class B cars don't make pit stops.
This is an important time because Reid's coming in. Christensen we saw in the Honda coming in at the same time. Watch for them.
Reid on top the times, Christian below. We've seen 4.12, 4.36 for Reid, 5.72 for Christensen. Honda losing out to the Ford in the pit stops. And look where Reid comes in, he's behind Peter Cox.
Well, Reid, he'd want to be quick in his pit stop. I watched him last night practicing. He was the driver the pit crew were using. Now, that's the Honda team, and they are squinty because they are worried about where Christensen's coming up, because there are the two Vauxhalls he was running with. And that's Jason Plato and Ivan Moore giving Christensen an absolute workover. Talk about a red mist. It's a red mist of Vauxhalls.
Cold front tires in the Honda, red hot tires in the two Vauxhalls. And this is a battle all the way down into the old hairpin at Donington.
Can he hold them off? Can he what? Muller slides straight through on the inside. Jason Plato says, thanks very much, I'm with you. Side by side, up through the old hairpin. Side by side towards McLean's. This is the left-hander, Schwantz curve, still side by side. Now we've got a right-hander, McLean. Something's got to give here. That's Plato on the inside, and he shovels Christensen straight into the door, and Christensen's off. How do you call it, boss?
He wasn't far enough forward. Christensen on cold tires had to turn in. And the consequence we've just seen.
And pay Christensen the point. What a save. The save of the century. That car was so sideways, stood on the power. Here's another look.
There you can see Plato tags the Honda in the driver's door. Plato had to take advantage of his tires being that bit warmer than Christensen. But what a fantastic save from